Okay, today's not going to be a tutorial, but it's just going to be an overview. And we're going to go over how to make the system we made yesterday, but with UVs instead of physical geometry and a spline. In some ways, it's simpler because you're only moving a material and panning the UVs. You don't have to mess around with GPU instanced meshes or anything like that, or splines. But it does require a little bit more modeling know-how. So I'm going to go over what I did to make this work. The original kind of model I started with was this very cute tank from Firewatch Warden. I'll link that in the description. But this model actually won't work. And the reason it won't work is because the treads are on the texture. So if we look at the tank texture here, you see the treads are included right there, which won't pan. What we need is the treads to be a single texture that we can pan in one direction, and we need the UVs on the treads to work for this. So if we look here, if you jump into wireframe, you can see I added additional geometry right next to, let's turn off the UVs real quick. I added additional geometry right where the treads would be. I just used the cut tool in Blender. Let's show the lit and see that's right where the pixels would be on the tread right here. That's this. So I think we can view the, no, not in VR. If we turn on the wireframe, see this one doesn't actually have that. But the other one, the one that I have, I've added in that geometry, so I can set the UVs to be on the treads to be a full grid, and then I set it up to have a new material. So and it's important that these are two separate materials as well. They're going to register the same material, but we want them to be two different instances so we can reference them separately. So let's grab the actual tread material. So the treads is a fairly simple material. So we have it in the base scalar, and then to the texture coordinates, we are going to add the panning value to it, and then we have the speed in here, and that will be on the axis that it moves. You technically could do it horizontally. I did it vertically since that made sense to me. And then in that actual material, in the construction script, instead of setting up, let's grab the so this is the tank we made last time. You see we're setting up the splines in this construction function. In the UV one, all we need to do is create a dynamic material instance for each tread, which we have right here. And then once we have that, we're going to set it up quite similar to how this is set up, where it's attached to the forward movement right here. But instead of moving the tread event, we are going to just, we have another move tread event, but it's a little bit different. We're going to get the scalar parameter. So that's going to be this panning value that you see right here, which is getting multiplied by the speed. And then we are doing the same thing where we're multiplying it by delta seconds, the pan amount and the pan scale, and we're checking the inverse in the same way, and then we are setting the scalar parameter value just like that. And we are just adding it to whatever the pan value is because we want to make it move forward. Okay, and then we're doing that for here. We have a pan scale in the same way. You can just kind of fine tune these until it looks right. And then down here, we have the forward input with the exact same thing. And we are just referencing the materials to tread right and tread left. And that's basically it. I just wanted to go over this since it's a little more complicated than it might seem, since you do need to cut up the mesh and make sure you get your UVs set up on whatever model you want to do, which if it's an existing mesh means you'll probably have to modify it. Granted, if you're making it from scratch, you can just set it up this way to begin with. But other than that, that results in a very nice, in my opinion anyway, looking tread movement system for pretty low cost. This is pretty cheap. You don't have any moving geometry. It's literally all in the material, and I think works quite nice. All right, catch you later.